is a quota that I put a quota on myself. Like, like they were like, oh, how much you want to get paid? 30,000. Like, how much my bills? Like, how much did it take for me to pay the rent, pay this, pay that, pay my expenses? Hey everyone, what is up? This is Gilsar Vergara back again with another video. Thank you for stopping or stumbling onto this channel. This is Do My Life, where we talk about health, wealth, and occasionally I do reviews and motor vlogs, automotive things. Today I wanted to talk about the Independent Courier journey. Check out the playlist right here somewhere. I want to talk about why you're not making the money you should be making, and certain things that I've noticed in being in this industry for sub 1 year. And understand that I watch people's interactions, how people act, how people react, right? And now that I'm kind of behind the scenes watching everything, like, on the back end, because, I'm an operations manager and things like that. But there's always a question of, why am I not making enough money? Why is this, people start looking at other, YouTube videos, including by myself, and some people making 1,000, 2,000 a week, in between 1,000 and 2,000 a week. And then there's some drivers who just quit because they're like, what the hell? I'm not making money or whatever. I mean, if you're and this video is probably for the guy that who's probably having like those issues of, I'm not making no money. I'm not saying this is in every case. I want to get that straight. This is not in every case, but this is what I have observed for the bottom earners. You have to really look at yourself. Like, number one, you have to really look at yourself and evaluate yourself, right? Evaluate yourself. It's not, at the end of the day, to a great degree, a lot of it is probably your fault, and just take accountability for yourself, right? Dispatchers are there to give the work, right? To give the work. Just plain and simple, just there to give the work. A lot of them, from what I noticed, they don't have favorites. Their favorite is a guy who says yes, pretty much, or the girl who says yes. If you're the type of driver, contractor, and I don't care if anyone gets offended by this, because at the end of the day, this might be the truth for somebody that you need to hear. Are you the type of guy, when the call comes in and it's local and it's only like 10, 15 bucks, and it's the middle of the day on Friday, you don't want to do nothing, or it could be Monday through Friday, whatever day, and you're like, no, then you just close your door on yourself, honestly. You really close the door on yourself. If you feel it's not worth it, just entertain me for a second. If you feel it's not worth it to take that one job for the day, understand, do you really think there's only one job available for that day? Once you become available and you build that rapport with your dispatcher, like you're the person that they can rely on, who do you think they're going to call first, right? Now, and I promise you, I'm going to tie this all in with how much money you make. Who do you think they're going to call in first when it comes to reliability, consistency, persistence, right? Who do you think they're going to call first? It might not be you if you're the guy constantly cherry picking the jobs. Because at the end of the day, like, dispatchers are literally only there to make sure jobs go out, because they're going to get judged on how well they disperse these jobs to a great degree. Now, there are people who should work in the shifts, like it could be morning shift, mid shift, or night shift. So they're kind of constrained with that. But if it's like a busy, like usually the morning shift is usually the busiest shift. If it's busy like that, and it's popping like that, it's moving like that, and you're the one saying no to these things, what do you think is going to happen? No one's going to call you. You're like, oh, because people are people. We're not robots. People are going to have, human tendencies are going to be like, I can't really call that guy because the guy always says no, or that guy girl always says no, and he got kind of snappy with me the last time. What gives you the right to and if it's offends somebody, I don't know, whatever. What gives you the right to get mad at somebody who's giving you opportunities that you turn down, and then snap back that you're not getting enough work? Does that make any type of sense? Like, think logically. Hey, John, do you want this work? First attempt, no. Second attempt, no. Third attempt, no. It's local, I don't got time for it, no. Hey, paycheck comes in. What the hell, owner, business owner, dispatcher? I'm not getting fed over here. Really? Think about it. Because sometimes you have to take some of that little work, right? Like you have to take this little work because it all adds up. You think about this. If and this goes into like budgeting yourself and things like that. I might do that in another video. But just bear with me and just entertain me for a sec, right? Just entertain me for a sec. Like, if you do within an hour's time 3 jobs at $10 a piece, let's just say $30 within an hour, right there. That's $30. You stay stagnant for like a couple of hours. Job calls in. Oh, can you take it to like a 2-hour run? Which at that point you get paid by the mile, right? So that might be a $70-$80 run, right? You've already made over $100 for the day, and it's still, let's say, it's still 1 o'clock, 1 p.m. or whatever, and you're already going out there, being optimistic, there's something might be there coming down, right? Neighboring city or whatever, coming down, not too far. And let's just say going back down to where you came from might be $70. So you're already at like $170, $180 for the day. But that could not have been ignited or initiated if you didn't take those first 3 jobs. Because now the dispatcher knows, okay, I'm throwing these jobs at him. He's available. He's ready to go. Opposed to being on the flip side, the guy who always says no to the little jobs. He always says no to the little jobs. So when the big job comes in, who do you think they're going to call? The guy who's available until they go down the list and you might be the guy that everyone said no and then it came to you and then it's your time to say yes. So just think about that. Just think about that. The how. I don't want to get too like a mystic or whatever. It's just think about how reciprocation works, reciprocity, right? Think about how those energies work, right? Like there's been times where, to be honest with you, it's like it could be a Thursday when I was a driver. Thursday, nothing happens all in the afternoon. 1 o'clock comes in, call comes in. It's like a court run, like 1 court run, and I was like, oh crap, this is like maybe $15 or whatever. And now I'm thinking like, oh, is it gonna be worth the gas or whatever? It's local, and then I just said yes because I'm like, you know what? I didn't make enough money all day. Let's just make it happen. Because at the end of the day, in my brain, how I think, anything is better than zero. Anything's better than a donut, right? Anything's better than a donut. Anything's better than a zero. At least it's something. But that particular day, if I didn't take that risk, I made like $200 that day. Because what happened was, if I remember correctly, I did that thing in the afternoon, right? It was like, oh, can you do this real quick? Can you do us a favor? Did it. And for some reason, the gates opened up. I did like 4 or 5 court runs that day, back and forth to law offices. Came out to like, I think like $60 and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, it's decent. I'm gonna go home now. It seems like it's dead or whatever. Then a call comes in for Washington. Then I was like, okay, that works out because the Washington run was probably easy $130, $120, $25 on top of the 60 I made already. There was my day. But it didn't happen because it could have not happened if I declined that one little $10, $15 job. Just think about how you react. Like, there's just so many things that go to this whole equation of, like not even luck or anything like that, right? Donald Trump had a saying like, I get luckier the harder I work. Maybe that's something that you guys need to think about, right? Don't be picky and choosy. Because if this is your full-time thing and this is all you got, you better take in as much as you can because tomorrow is not guaranteed, right? If you're not a route guy, you don't have a consistent flow at that particular company, and you're just a guy that just takes some work, tomorrow is not guaranteed. On top of that, if you know your budgeting, you know how much you need to make to the dollar to fulfill your life, your yearly income, what you imagine your yearly income to be. If you look at it in that scale, like I gotta make $150 a week. Oh, I'm sorry, $150 a day to maintain my life. Then you might look at things differently. You might be like, you know what? I'm only, if your budget is only $120 a day, or let's just say make it even 100 a day, getting those little jobs, whatever, kind of chips away at that daily requirement, that daily quota that you have. And that's how I look at it. And I can show you shots of what I need to make a day at a 25-day scale, a 30-day scale, a 26-day or whatever day scale. That's how specific I have, or I am, when it's goal focus. And hopefully that helps you. I can make a video. Comment down below if you want me to see videos about that. I don't think it's going to entertain anybody, but understand, like, that daily rate that you're making for yourself is a quota. That I put a quota on myself. So I put in a situation where I can't say no because a quota has to be met. Now, there is going to be a time, let me see the time. There is going to be a time where I went over my quota for the day. So then, and only then, I can be like, okay, tomorrow I had a long run. It came in at 6 in the morning. Let me take a break right now and then try to hit it in the afternoon. That's the only time I always pull back at it so I can rest, because I gotta make my quota. This is a quota. Because when you are, like, before I end this video, when you are negotiating salaries or your hourly pay, when you're doing an hourly, a W-2 job, an hourly job, that's literally what you're doing, right? You, like, for the most part, most people will, like, you know, like, they're like, okay, how much you want to get paid? 30,000. Like, how much my bills? Like, how much did it take for me to pay the rent, pay this, pay that, pay my expenses? That's literally what you're doing when you're working for a W-2 job. That's how you can be like, nah, that money, it doesn't really make much money. That job doesn't really pay me well. I had to decline. Let's move on to another job, or let me look for more money at another job. That's literally what you're doing. But in an independent courier contractor setting, you have to dictate that pace. You are responsible for that number now. And I think that's what people fail to understand. Now, this is not including people who have pensions already, who have other side incomes, who can say no. Very different story. Like myself, very different story. For someone who is their sole source of income, you gotta hit your quotas so you can survive and scale, and you have spots of rest and spots of just trying to get that quota. That's all I gotta say. Hopefully that helped. But thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate your time all the time. Make sure to hopefully like this video if you like it, and share the video if you think it helps or you think it will help somebody. But take care, God bless, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.